I'm Andrew.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Steve.
And you're listening to Weekly
Geek.
Speak.
I don't like that.
No?
I thought we were all going to harmoniously say it once.
Okay. I'm Andrew.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Steve.
And you're listening to
Weekly Geek Speak.
That's worse. That is worse. Stop doing that again.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. It's a Weekly Geek podcast coming out every week to entertain you in earwaves. What? I don't know. But you can follow us on Twitter at Weekly Geek Speak, Facebook.com/Weekly Geek Speak, or on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher and Podcastland. If you do enjoy us and want to subscribe, we would love you. If you really enjoy us, or have been enjoying us for a long time and haven't done so yet, please review us on any of those platforms if you can. We might be on YouTube as well.
Oh, you know what? Just for something fun and different, even if you have, 3-word review.
Of
our show, that would be interesting.
Interesting, yeah. Do 3-word reviews of our show with a 5-star rating.
We got stressed.
Anyway, no, but it does really help and we would appreciate it. Also, give belts, buckles and tees. We'll be announcing the winner of that competition at the end of today's show. The competition for our awards, which we'll be covering today. Yeah. What has won? We'll be having loads of listeners that we call for listeners to throw in, to announce our winners. So if you sent a recording, you will be on later in the show. But it's time for our bi-weekly game. What is it, Steve? What is this game?
What is it? Recommend, Decommend is a bi-weekly catch-up game where we bring the films that we've watched in the interim between recordings. We bring our favourite film that we've watched. We give a little blurb on why we liked it and why it was good, and we all pitch our films and then vote on each other's for the ultimate podcast recommend. And then we bring the worst film we've watched in our opinion. We give a little shtick about why we didn't like it and what was naff about it, and all pitch one in, and that goes to Decommend, which is the well of Decommend where films are thrown
fester
and can never be watched by any of us again.
Except probably.
I wonder if any of us have watched one we've put away. Yeah,
I think we probably have.
I can't think off the top of my head.
I need to see the list.
So, first this week is Scott.
Me? You? Well, it's not too long since we last recorded, so we've only got about 8 films to choose from. A couple are alright. I'm not going to include Hateful Eight, which is on the cinema, and I'm not going to include Mean Girls, which I'm pretty sure we've talked about before.
I think might have got the recommend. No, we've got the decommend. I can't remember.
It's featured before. I'm going to say The Voices with Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh, but can you use it? Because I wasn't allowed to use one in our awards, and that is nominated for our awards for horror movie. Yeah,
is it really?
It is.
I forgot.
So The Voices, Good Night Mommy, and The Final Girls is in the awards.
Oh shit, that scupper's mine as
well. So, I didn't realise about that. This is really difficult. There's none I can be overly positive about, I'm afraid. Okay, I watched... Well, I'm torn between Tall, Hot Blonde and Baby Mama.
Wow.
That's the level I've got to now, after all those wrinkles and criteria. Tall Hot Blonde was a really good, fascinating documentary that I recommend people watch, but it just dragged a bit longer than it had to. Once you know all the pieces and where they go and where they fit, I'm pretty sure there was still half an hour of documentary left telling me nothing really new, but going over information I knew. But it was really fascinating. I might go for that, because Baby Mama was just fine Tina Fey comedy.
Okay.
It was just... so I'm going to go Tall, Hot Blonde.
Why would you recommend it to me?
Just because obviously people are aware of like catfish and people holding back their anonymity on Facebook, but I don't think people are aware of how relationships can develop on the internet and how people like get lost in the little fantasy worlds of like projecting onto people stuff just through talking to them, especially when they're lonely. So it's a fascinating look at a particular case of a particular like internet love triangle of sorts between three people on the internet with a really dark outcome. And it's quite fascinating from that regard. And the case itself is interesting. So it's definitely worth a watch. It's my only criticism of it was it felt a bit padded out. After an hour, I felt like I watched it all, knew it all, and enjoyed it, and then it just continued a bit. But it's definitely worth a watch, and I definitely enjoyed it. So strong 7.
Strong 7.
Cool.
7-ish.
Well, interesting. It's my turn next. I've watched 11 films, of which there are lots of 7s, and 7s is the highest mark I can give to any of them. But then I make that more difficult for myself, because that's a hateful 8. I can't do that. We reviewed it, got rid of that. Lucy talked about Labyrinth quite a lot last week, so I've chucked that one out as well. Jurassic World's in our awards, I've to chuck that one out. And Last Shift I reviewed on our website, which is a great film, which probably would have been my recommend otherwise. But that leaves me, my only other 7 out of 10 left there is Uncle Buck. So I'm going to go John Candy's outing with Macaulay Culkin as pre...
you want to do it. Do it now.
What?
Your Macaulay Culkin impression.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I love it. I rewind it and play it. Who are you?
I knew it was coming. Let's get it out of front.
I also like, hey there, chickie. He talks to his mum. He's great. Macaulay Culkin is arguably... That was his audition tape for Home Alone, and the film itself birthed Home Alone. Yeah. That's a cracking film. John Candy, he's just such a likeable character and such a funny character in this. Him torturing the teenage girl through it because he loves her. He doesn't want her to get into a mess, and it turns out that he's right. But that whole
scene where he scares the boyfriend's amazing.
I just love in the car. But it's really... It's a funny... kind of comedy that we don't get now. You know, it's been remade as a short TV series.
That's really. When did that happen?
About a few years ago, or it's coming out soon or something. Yeah. But it doesn't look good. But it's John Candy is a real comedian who had subtleties that quite a lot of comedians like now. I think Dan Aykroyd and him both have this kind of... They're normal blokes, but they're quite funny, but they are funny, genuinely. When the clown turns up at the door and there's Uncle Buck, this film is full of short, sweet, exceedingly funny things, and I feel that Uncle Buck, even though I've given it a 7, it's just shy of being in some of those classics, and I think it needs some attention today, which is why I'm bringing it to recommend, because I think it's a really fun, probably one of my favourite John Candy films. And Macaulay Culkin is brilliant in it. Both the girl and the boy are adorable and hilarious. The teenage girl, there's a real fun dynamic there. I really like his girlfriend. I really like the woman across the road because it was really weird. There's so many elements in this film. And I normally kind of go, because it's one of the films that Lucy grew up with and loved, and always how we have to watch it every 6 months. And I'm always like, we've got to watch this again. But I probably begrudge it a little bit for that. But when I actually sit down and watch it, I absolutely love it. Yeah. So I've got to bring Uncle Buck today. Cool. A very strong 7 for me, which is Steve's turn.
I've watched 4 films, and 2 of which I can't bring. The Hateful Eight, which we spoke about. Final Girls, which is in the awards, which I was going to bring. Which leaves me 2, which is a perfect recommend. Dead Rising Watchtower.
Because I called this up, didn't I? This has been made.
We didn't realise,
so you've watched it.
Didn't realise it had been made. It's on Netflix. So it follows. It has the Dead Rising is a video game franchise. For anyone who doesn't know,
I love it. I've played the first one.
The first one is a reporter goes in and
Dawn of the Dead, basically.
Dawn of the Dead, and he's a photographer trying to earn money off it.
I just like picking up random shit and hitting zombies. I don't think I progressed much.
No,
I literally just went, "What does this chainsaw do?"
It was great. And then the second game ramped it up a bit, and it was a guy and his daughter, and the silliness was ramped up to 11. I mean, I've spoken about it before. You can
the best bit
you can strap chainsaws to a child's bike whilst wearing a tutu and a bare head whilst wielding a samurai sword. It's just nuts, and it's all gaffer taped together.
So this is actually made off the game?
And this is made off of the game. Now, you'd think... I mean, when we mentioned it, I was like, they've made it, and it's gone straight to... Oh, God, right, okay.
I still want to watch it, to be honest.
The tone is brilliant. It's got the wit. It cuts to the character who's clearly telling a story from the previous one, so the character from the first film, and it's got the suit spot on with his huge collar, and he's just really arrogant and unlikable. And then you've got the sort of the character in the second game, and he's there to save the day. And it's just a really good, silly zombie film that does justice to the game. There's nods to it without going, do you remember this in the game? And they've nicked the names and the titles. No. There's loads of really nice little nods. They go into, it's not a spoiler, but they go into a room and she goes, here, quick, you might need this, and lobs him a roll of gaffer tape. And it's not over-laboured, it's just this subtle, and you just hear this, and then they come out with these weapons, and it's just really nice little nods. They've got the outfits, they've got the characters' names. The gore's brilliant, the violence is good, and as a zombie film, it's like, okay, yeah, they've done that well. It's a 7. It's nothing groundbreaking and mind blowing, but it was well worth an hour and 25 minutes of my time. Really well done. Nice little nod to the game.
A sea of 7s.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
So votey time, and Scott votes first with Uncle Buck and Dead Rising: The Watchtower.
Oh, we were a bit petulant last time, just because. When I've not watched either, I want one to be a film I either want to see or get sold to me. And in both cases, I'll be like, "Ugh!" Even though Slow West, you sold it really well, and I've seen it on Netflix since. Not watched it, I mean, just seen it there. And actually kind of fancy it. You've redeemed yourself, guys, because it's a film I really like, and a film I now really want to see. So this is more what I like. This is more my speed. I've not played the second Dead Rising, but I really like the first one. Again, I didn't get very far, just like pissing around on it. But put that tone in a zombie film, I'll probably get quite an enjoyable hour and a half out of that. And it being on Netflix means that's going straight on my list to probably squander with the rest of them. But they get watched eventually.
Yeah,
The voices go watched. So that's good, but I can't really look past Uncle Buck, because I think Andrew nailed it quite perfectly by saying it's almost as close as you can get to a classic without quite being one of the classics. It's that sort of bank holiday film that'll be on BBC One at 6 o'clock, and you miss it, but you're really gutted when you miss it.
Yeah.
And I love Uncle Buck, because I watched it as a kid as well, and I've not watched it in a few years now, and that needs to change soon. Because John Candy is brilliant in it. It's kind of his film for me. Like, when he's mentioned, I think Uncle Buck. I don't think Planes, Trains as much. You know? So it's got to be Uncle Buck, because I love Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck. Which means I vote next, and I've got Dead Rising: The Watchtower and Tall Hot Blonde. I have seen Tall Hot Blonde a long while ago. Remember it being interesting. We talked about it briefly last week as well, with the whole Making a Murder that we were chatting about. I can't remember much what happens. I remember it was a precursor to Catfish in a lot of ways. Kind of, they took that and rode it into the ground. But it was an interesting tale, I remember. It was an interesting story and a terrifying one at the same time. So and I remember it being really good. Dead Rising: The Watchtower. Now, I like my zombie films, but this one has been on. I've seen it and I've not wanted to go there. So it's interesting that you've seen it and enjoy it. I've never played the game, so I've got nothing invested, and I get kind of a bit fed up of zombie films being churned out. But if it has something a bit different, then I'm a little bit more interested. So I'm very. This is kind of the situation that I don't like to be in, because there's a documentary that I've watched and I remember I enjoyed but never returned to, and a film that before today I probably wouldn't have watched, but you've kind of made me a little bit interested. Where do I go? Because I've got to come down to it, and it always does come down to it in these situations. And I've got to lay the DVDs on the table in front of me. I'll be picking up Dead Rising, just because I've seen Tall Hot Blonde.
5.2 stars on IMDb, apparently.
Yeah, I was just looking.
So I'm going Dead Rising: The Watchtower.
Let me look at the cast. I'm intrigued.
Jesse
Metcalf from Desperate Housewives is in it.
Megan Ory. and Virginia Madsen.
Let's get this tied up then. Steve,
Cool.
you have Tall Hot Blonde or Uncle Buck?
Again, it's a strong one this week. I mean, Uncle Buck, you did, like Scott said, you summed up so perfectly, and it's the film that is Macaulay Culkin. That's why we have Home Alone, one of the staple Christmas films we've all said we watch every Christmas. So it's an incredible film, and John Candy owns it. Tall Hot Blonde, I wasn't aware of. Maybe I've heard of it and I've forgotten it again. But what with all the,
I think it's on Netflix. I'm
I
trying to
think
remember.
it's in Netflix or Amazon Prime. I know it's on something.
my ears pricked up. Obviously, talking to me.
We watched it on something.
Right.
There's too many
There is
streaming
too
out.
many
I
services.
literally don't know where my films are coming from at the minute.
Just into your eyeballs.
they just
direct.
They just get to me somehow. Sometimes it's Netflix.
And you've sold that to me again. It's one I sound like I would recommend if I watched it.
It's a
'cause
really-
the whole serial making a murderer, and I loved Catfish. I watched the TV series, even though it's MTV and it's kind of run its course a bit. I
Fascinating
still
dark
watch
story.
it, but
It is.
yeah. So that's something that will definitely jump up my list because I mean I sat for just over an hour the other day
He's going to
scrolling.
take it home and watch it.
Yeah, probably. And bring it himself next week.
Yeah, I am. So I'm not going to recommend Uncle Buck because everyone's seen Uncle Buck. No, I'm not going to recommend Uncle Buck. Not because of. I'm just going to. Tall Hot Blonde does sound really fascinating, and I think that documentaries and things that are done that have a strong, powerful sort of story. That leave you thinking. If both of you have mentioned that, I think that should go out there as the recommend because Uncle Buck, people will watch. Uncle Buck's great. So I'm going to.
So that leaves us in a place we've not been for a very long time. It's a tie.
Is it?
So it's going to the audience. So we'll be. We might. Can you do 3 on those Twitter votes?
Yes.
Should we do that? Should we chuck it out on a Twitter vote and see what we get?
Why not?
So vote for Uncle Buck, Dead Rising, The Watchtower, or Tall Hot Blonde for your recommend of the week.
Although I'm pretty sure Uncle Buck will win.
Yeah.
So no decisions made there.
Oh.
But it's time for decommand. Let's go back to Scott. What are you decommanding?
It's a film watched today, and it's called Lovesick.
Lovesick.
Oh.
Lovesick is Matt LeBlanc
Oh, wow.
and
Starting
Ali
well.
and Ali Larter. Basically, he's a principal of a primary school, and it turns out when he falls in love, he becomes psychotic.
Oh.
So, but he just gets like amateur diagnosed by an ex-girlfriend, and we take that as, verbatim. And then it's just him trying to court Ali Larter and keep a hold on the fact he creates stuff and is a bit overly jealous all the time. I think we're supposed to like him and feel a bit funny for him, funny lols, jealous boyfriend stuff. But even though they tried to with some pseudo nuance explain it and stuff, I just can't help but watch him and go, "Oh, you're a bit dick. You're a bit overly jealous. Oh, you're a bit like a lot of odd people." And then Matt LeBlanc, bless him, I'm sure he's a nice bloke. It's probably more me than him. Whenever I watch him, it's a film that's almost designed to be like, right, this will be tied together quite well, because it's not bad. This will be tied together quite well with a strong actor. But he feels like he's always Joe. I just see Joey Tribbiani, even when he's not being stupid.
And he makes it worse because he's an actor in the show, so you just think,
It's like Series 8 Joey when he's pining over Rachel, so he's not as funny. It's like, so he's just like, and it just, I don't know, I couldn't get past all that, and then it's not that good or funny either, and then it was annoying me a bit. It's just, we're filming 2014, must have been a straight to DVD thing. I don't even know how I found it. It's just very meh.
Okay.
And
Lovesick.
full of TV stars with no better.
My decommend, now, by far the worst film I saw was A Night at the Roxbury, which is
Will
Ferrell,
the guy.
Chris Kattan or something, is that his name?
I've watched it. It's.
But for me, putting that in the decommend today is like picking on the slightly special kid in class. It's not fair.
It plays
I'm not
like what
going
it
to do
was. It was a skit made into a film poorly.
that. Yeah.
Because there's been so many good ones. Wayne's
Was it-
World.
Right. Was it one of the first
Ghostbusters.
SNL ones?
It was an SNL one.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of success in SNL sketches and characters going into films, and this was just like 1-2 minutes. Like, it was just a bit like, yeah, you can't just do anything.
But I'm not bringing that today because I don't feel like it was that. It was just average. The one that also was just average, I gave it a 5 out of 10, but I feel deserves to be here today is the Poltergeist remake.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with it. Apart from the fact it lacks any personality, and I'm getting fed up of remakes doing this. I don't mind a remake if it's done well, differently, la 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 la.
Yeah.
The problem with horror movies, especially, is when they're remade, it's just to churn them out for the latest thing to bring out in Insidious' next spot, you know?
Yep.
You do get some good ones in those. We've talked about them before. Sinister's appeared here before. Insidious is good. You know, there are good elements of those kind of films.
We like the Evil Dead reboot after being scoffy about it until it's...
But you need to bring something, and that's what the Evil Dead is a great example of a remake which did it differently. This one didn't bring anything to the table, but at the same time it missed all the notes of that first one. The first one, it feels like a children's film, but it's a horror film.
Yep. It's got that wonder that drives you in.
It's got the wonder. It's the wonder. I always couple Poltergeist, weirdly, with Close Encounters. Yeah. It's because there is something beautiful about Poltergeist. When that ghost comes down the stairs, there's something like they are contacting something for the first time, which is why I think I relate it to Close Encounters.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's some great horror moments where he picks his face and things, and a lot of these things happen in this film with no impact or no resonance or nothing will stick. Even down to the little girl, and I'm not going to criticise a 6-year-old girl's acting. She's fine. She does the role of a little girl in a horror movie fine. But Carrie Ann in the first one, she looks iconic. I don't want her to be identical, but there was something magic about that little girl. The way she spoke, the way she looked at you, the way she really...
It was really charismatic.
She interacted with the people that weren't there really well.
It's a great example of a film's more than the sum of its parts, and some films work with that intangible tone and quality, and right cast, right director, right tone, right place, right time. Which is why when you try and pluck that out, and then scrape all that off and repackage it years later, you're just like, why? Because Poltergeist, on paper, is no better than a million other films. Do you know what I mean? Like, which is evidenced by its reboot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And it didn't scare me. It didn't stick with me. It didn't do anything for me. It just happened. It was a perfect average horror Hollywood fare. Everything that's wrong with Hollywood horror at the moment, because it's just so average and bland. Didn't hate it. I can't enthuse angry about it. I can't sing its praises. It's just I'm fed up with you're going to take something like that, make something of it. This is a wasted opportunity.
And the directors of these sort of things are always like, I want to honour the original, and by that they mean I'm going to steal its best scene
and do it subpar.
Take all the character away from it.
It's like, it's just...
And as I say, the first one feels like a children's film, but at the same time it's very scary. I find it very... The clown and the thing when the doors open and there's a creature, it's not powerful, it's visually strong. Whereas this one was just ultimately forgettable. So that's why I'm bringing Poltergeist 2015. Steve?
Nice. Yeah, the only other film I haven't mentioned on my list. I'm going to bring The Duff.
Second time in a row, I completely forgot we did that.
So we all watched...
Why does this keep happening when we're watching films together and I'm not including them?
Yeah, we all watched a film called The Duff.
The Doof.
Which means? I didn't know means designated ugly fat friend.
Oh,
apparently.
Which
really?
one of us is it, Steve?
Wow.
Say it. Me and Andrew are going to help you.
Me.
Nice bailout. I'm going to let it go. For now. But you're looking at me.
I'm waiting my turn to speak. I'm giving you social cues.
But let's point out, she's not remotely fat.
No, I was going to say
she's kind of a beautiful young woman.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody in the film is any of these things, and regardless, it's the story of a girl who doesn't look like her two friends, finds out that she's the Duff, and is like, "What? Oh, they're just using me. Oh, but they're not really." And it's just a really naff, awful high school comedy. I mean, I don't want to get enraged about it. It's a 4, but I mean, when you've got things like Easy A and Mean Girls that are just beautifully crafted. Easy A is a lovely, beautifully crafted tale that's the high school. Mean Girls is great. I mean, we've taught Mean Girls before. There's a couple of scenes that are a bit silly that go over the top, the jungle scenes, but it's a really well done, funny,
but it's
slightly different take
and the
on
angle it takes.
Yeah,
it makes it, and it's funny.
Yeah, whereas
genuinely funny.
This just goes, oh yeah, that high school trope of the friend being friends with people that she shouldn't be, and then trying to get back at them, and it just wasn't very good. I don't really want to get cross about it. I'm just gonna. We all watched it. It's one of those films like we watched, like Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
Yeah, we picked
in Rage,
great films,
and that was awful. But I think The Duff was one of those films. It was perfect to be on in the background and talk over, but it just didn't really.
That's my rule
do
for
much.
communal
It was
watching, though. Like, if it's something I want to watch,
Yeah.
because I want to watch it on my own and concentrate.
Yeah, definitely.
If I've watched it before, or it's something I don't give a fuck about, or it's going to be terrible, let's watch it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So it just didn't. It was there. We had it on in the background. We had a nice evening, but no, not very good. Didn't enjoy it.
So, Scott, you go first. You got Poltergeist and The Duff.
We watched The Duff. Yeah, I mean, it didn't offend me because it was a similar standard to a lot of teen movies. It's just not one of the good, remarkable ones that have a different slant or comedic view or strong characters. Like I love Easy A and Mean Girls as well. And it did get on my nerves a bit. Like she's obviously not fat or ugly, and I can't. It's that I know it's the she's all that thing.
You wanted a fat pig.
No, but it's really hard to suspend your belief when you're literally like, come on, I don't care what hormones are playing wild or what societal like things are telling you she's not as good looking.
But that's the point.
But it's bullshit.
Society, man.
And the only one with a personality as well to prove that like she's the real one.
And she was apparently supposed to be weird for wearing really cool T-shirts and having horror movie posters in her bedroom.
You're so weird. What? Enjoying everything everyone else
loving
likes.
life and
what? With all the safe bands and horror films you like.
Yeah.
You're so weird.
So strange. God.
Yeah.
Why are you fitting in this box over here?
I think its biggest crime it just didn't make me laugh or care too much.
Yeah.
And when you got Ken Jeong in just for that and stuff, it just didn't do well for me. But it's hard for me to condemn it for that. Poltergeist remake I have not watched, but I don't want to, and I have very weird prejudices with horror, especially around remakes and sequels, when ironically I defend them with most other genres. And I think it's for a lot of the reasons Andrew talked about, because it's a weird way Hollywood likes to formulaically chuck them just to signpost their years without. And the reason Andrew loves horror and you love horror and I enjoy the horrors I do is for the ingenuity and the differences and the nuance and the tones and the new ideas, all of which gets abandoned with this fucking stock Hollywood method of reproducing, which is why I'm swearing off a bit of sequels and remake. I mean, there'll always be exceptions. Evil Dead remake. I like the Evil Dead sequels. Evil Dead's a good example in both counts. But I'm not going to watch... Why would I, when I can watch that original one, which I know is good? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would I want to? I don't. And every report I've heard of that is pointless. The word pointless has been mentioned during that film in conversations I've had more than any other film I've ever heard of.
Right.
So I have to do that for the similar reasons Andrew said. Poltergeist. Which may be harsh, I haven't seen it, but I trust everyone I've heard's word on it.
So I vote next. I've not seen Love Dick. Love Dick.
Love Dick.
Love Dick. Freudian slip.
Yeah, you've seen a few though, haven't you?
And but I have seen the big penis in my mouth, the Duff, which I watched it twice in the space of 2 weeks. Not because I wanted to, because I thought it would be the perfect fare for us to watch. Don't mind it.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah. It's bang in the middle of teen movies for me.
Yeah.
It just strikes me as teen movies not for me. You know, I'm older now. I'm watching that and going, oh, they're all doing iPhones and things. Let's watch American Pie instead. It's good enough. but it's nothing different. I think that's the problem with it.
We were making light of the fact the writer clearly Googled a set of internet phrases.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was very much like, here's my MySpace comment. Here's my reference to Facebook.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Hashtag, oh my god, stories!
And I don't mind that being incorporated. It was just a bit much and annoyed me.
Yeah, it was a bit ham-handed. It just didn't deliver. It wasn't anything fresh. It kind of tried to play itself as a Mean Girls study of the society in high schools, but
With more
didn't
social
quite.
media,
But it didn't quite deliver on that point. It just kind of petered out, and I don't like the guy she got at the end. Why the biggest prick in school?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Oh well, get over it.
You ruined the duff!
Oh, well, there's lots of pricks in that film, so it might be
You
any
know
of the big
what?
pricks in
It
school.
does not narrow it down. You're right.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, the duff is fine. 6 out of 10
It
for
is
me.
fine.
But I
Yeah.
won't ever remember it or go back to it unless we all get in a room again or something.
Comes a new Frozen.
Love Stick.
Oh, God.
Ali Larter looks like she smelled a fart, and Matt LeBlanc is.
It did play a bit like the graveyard TV stars go to. Because I'm like, oh, look, it's Joey from Friends. Oh, she was from Heroes. Oh. And then the woman from Third Rock from the Sun turned up, and I went, oh my god, it is.
Wow.
It just doesn't strike me as anything I would hurry to watch or be interested in.
I didn't know it existed till this morning.
No, I've never heard of it. I'm not begrudging it on Ali Larter's fart smell face. But again, here we go. Put them on the table in front of me. I'll probably watch The Duff again over that. So I'm going to put Lovesick in. Love Dick, or whatever I called it earlier. I actually wrote Love Dick.
I loved it. Loved Dick. It wasn't offensively bad. It's just. Love Dick wasn't offensively bad. It was just. It just needed to be held together with a bit more wit, explanation, and acting, and none of which it really had. So
Steve, you've got Love Stick.
Love Stick.
Love
Stick.
Love Stick.
Love Stick.
Love Stick.
And The Duff.
So, Scott Love Stick or Andrew Poltergeist.
I was going to
Is it
say
Scott-
this is a hard
Scott-
one, but that doesn't.
Oh,
Scott
yeah,
Love Stick.
it's me, the poltergeist. I even introduced that wrong because I had Dick on the brain.
Yeah. So Scott Love Stick
Scott Love Stick.
or Andrew Poltergeist.
Andrew Poltergeist.
But Scott Love Stick and Andrew Poltergeist, okay? Don't get confused.
Okay.
Andrew Love Stick. Don't put that.
Okay. Poltergeist is a cracking film. I mean, you've both summed it up better than I could. But it is. It feels like a kids' film, but at the same time, it's fucking scary and creepy. It's one that I did watch when I was younger, and it's a trilogy I own on DVD because I like all of them. The third one still petrifies me because I remember the moments that
I vaguely
scared me as a kid.
I think I've watched one other, but
There's a bit where he's in a
God knows
glass
which one.
lift, and there's a bit with a puddle. Ugh. They really stick with me, and that creepy
Those
old,
puddles.
the creepy little old lady, and the
Yeah.
just Carol Ann is like you say, the way she interacts with something that isn't there. She's great. So it sounds like it sucks everything that's great about it and hasn't. I'm going to admit to watching the first 10 minutes a few weeks ago
You checked out.
and turning it off.
What bit lost you? What did it become unbearable?
I can't even remember. I just remember watching
Even
it
Sam
and going,
Rockwell can't steal
This
it.
is what I was about to
Sam
say.
Rockwell steals everything.
Sam Rockwell.
That's what he does.
Bit of a little.
He
yeah,
steals
Sam
Teenage
Rockwell.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he's just a
Yes,
punk
he
kid
does.
in a section.
Yes, exactly. Sam Rockwell's incredible, and when I saw they were doing a remake and he was in it, it's like, okay, well, I'm willing to go with this. I'll try it. No, he couldn't save it. Stick with the originals. Stop churning out pointless remakes without the character of the originals. Watch the originals and come up with some new ideas. And your film, I like the Love Stick or whatever it's called. I can Love Stick.
Love Sick.
Ali Larter, it sounds like the kind of thing that would be a perfect movie to stick on in the background if we're all meeting up this
Maybe
weekend.
we can do
Drink some wine over it, and it exists in the background. So
Maybe
it may
I'll-
happen one day.
Maybe
Where
I'll
I
introduce you to it.
Loves Dick, so
love
stick it in.
Yeah,
Are you saying we all love steak?
yeah.
So you're saving.
So I'm going to save Love Stick because Poltergeist. I think
Because Weekly Geek Week loves steak.
because Poltergeist I snorted then. For fuck's sake. Poltergeist. I I tried it and turned it off, and to hear you say all of those things about it just puts me off even more going back to try it. I'll watch the original again, and
you are missing
might bring
nothing
it for a recommend.
Good or bad, you're missing nothing.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a bit unfair because we're all condemning it for what it is, but it's kind of what it represents.
Yeah.
It's like Andrew said, I'm sure it's not that offensive.
No.
I'm just also sure it's probably incredibly bland.
Yeah.
And I know it's unnecessary. So.
You've been voting furiously, sharing, retweeting, and spreading our Weekly Geek Speak Awards survey across the world. And the results are in. Ooh. And now we're going to run through the Weekly Geek Speak Awards 2015.
Who's going to get a Weekly
Fanfare.
Geekly?
Clapping audience. Everyone's bothered.
Me and Andrew have put on our tuxes and look really smart. Steve's turned up in a hoodie. And it's a bit,
I didn't. No, you didn't send a
it's
memo
a bit
out.
disrespectful, actually.
Every year we do this, Steve, and you know. That
You could at least put on a nice dress.
I thought it was different this year. Well,
we the previous couple of years we've done the awards. We've asked podcasts from the pod pals and groups to join us, and this year we did it a little differently. We kind of said, can we have some of our listeners chip in? Now, there are some familiar names, faces and voices. We've got some really great people, and thank you so much for everyone for getting involved, and thank you to everyone who retweeted and shared. We will be doing the competition, drawing the name at the end of all this. But let's get started.
I'm excited.
With the Weekly Geek Speak Awards 2015! And
is it 2015 or is it when we say it's 2016 even though it's 2015?
We probably need to clarify as well.
Can we just say the third Weekly Geek Speak Awards?
It's December 2014 to November 2015. The best films of that time period. We're presenting it in 2016, but it's for the best films of 2015.
And Star Wars is one.
And Star Wars
exempt.
dropped off, so
Yeah,
that's not in the Sci-Fi Awards and Best Movie Awards. Don't worry, it's got a chance next year.
And only Andrew knows who the winners are. So.
Only I know the winners, because I orchestrated this whole shebang.
So I'm excited.
So I'm Master of Ceremonies.
Yeah.
Do you regret not
Ricky
having
Gervais.
this surprise, or did you enjoy when it came?
I enjoy watching those little votes coming up and go, ooh. There were some very tight ones.
Okay.
I'll tell you now. So what I'll do is I'll introduce the announcer. They will announce it, and then I'll go a little bit more into the facts and figures for you, and we'll talk about the winner. But first off, to see us in is Tom and Ant from the Anywhere But Here podcast. And you can find out more about them from @ABHPod or search ABHPod on iTunes. Here's Tom and Ant.
Hi guys, it's Tom
And
from Anywhere But Here and all the other podcasts that we do.
sorry about the ambient noise behind us, but we have just been to the cinema in Bluewater, and we're now stood outside Claire's to make this recording at 9 o'clock at night.
Because we don't get to see each other every week anymore, so
No.
we couldn't wait. And you've got your awards thing
This
which
week,
we're happy to be part of for the second week in a second week.
Second year.
Yeah,
Second year in a row. And we are here to announce the Best TV Series. The nominees this year are
This Is England 90
Daredevil Season 1.
and The Flash Season 1.
Ooh, the tension. I wonder who won this one.
I don't know.
What does
We
that-
don't have an envelope here this year to rustle about, and I've got nothing
no.
rustly that
I
I'm
mean,
wearing.
it was a piece of paper last year. I'm sorry. The winner is... What's that say?
It's I can't
read
see.
it.
I've got
Everything's
this thing
going a bit
over
dark.
I've got this thing over my eyes.
Oh, let's lift that up. Oh, I can see again. It is, of course.
It's Daredevil.
Yes, so congratulations, Daredevil.
To
I
Netflix.
suppose.
Well done.
Yeah,
They are the
Good job.
bastions of greatness.
good job.
We're still stood outside Claire's. This is weird. So we're gonna go now.
Yeah, we're very aware of people looking at us funny.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on again, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
I mean, it's up there with some of the best things Marvel have done to make a mature Netflix show of that style. It's been a show I've been crying out for. Not necessarily Daredevil on Netflix, but the type and tone of show I've been wanting for ages. The amount of time I pitched to no one, I don't know. I pitched a Nightwing HBO show where they can do what Supergirl's kind of doing, where allude to the to Batman, but don't
never
have it in it.
show him. Yeah.
And we finally got it with Daredevil, and I've always enjoyed Daredevil, even though he's just Marvel's Batman. He's just quite rich thematically and stuff. And that's a brilliant show. And if you're not in by that second episode when you watch that corridor scene, you'll never be in. I did think Flash might steal this, because that's the best first season of, and it's such unbridled fun and amazing how we get all this wonderfulness onto live action television. I think I said it when we announced the nominations. Daredevil's very weirdly Marvel doing DC, and Flash is very weirdly DC doing Marvel.
Yeah.
But both are amazing, great television, and I was very happy with either winning. This is England, great series as well.
Just to let you know, breakdown of the scores a little bit more. Daredevil won it with 69% of the vote. This is England came second with 20% of the vote, and The Flash came in with 11% of the vote.
Wow. Okay.
I do think Netflix, when things drop on Netflix, it hits people bigger and badder way than anything. Like the amount of people, Jessica Jones is quite, well, she's not obscure, but I've never cared about her. Do you know what I mean? And I'm a nerd about this sort of thing. And the amount of people I've heard and listened and seen or watching Jessica Jones is impressive.
Yeah. And it's amazing, isn't it? But what I think, especially to put my pennies in on this one, I think this is the right one to win, because I'm sure The Flash is great and a lot of the superhero TV, but this is so different.
Yeah.
You know, it's so actually quite brave to put something so po-faced and serious and drama-y. Lots of TV series wouldn't do this through fear that it just wouldn't sell. But Netflix has that power that people are already there on Netflix. They're already on board. They don't need to shove adverts in between. They can do what they want and do what the fans want. And they've learnt that. Marvel's learnt that. And you've got this great... It's not to sell toys. It's not to do this, that and the other. It's this really dark...
dark, violent...
grungy, urban level superhero that they've missed in Marvel. And they've addressed that. There's a fantastical universe away. We're dealing with the cosmic level of superheroes over here and the big celebrity superhero. Yeah. But where's that down-to-earth, nitty-gritty superhero here on Netflix?
And they've took that formula and they've applied it to Jessica Jones, which is up there as well. That'll probably be nominated next year. And then we've got Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders. And you can even set this formula, like this talk of we want Dredd petitioning for this. It's a whole new... sort of avenue now. Why can't we do like a condensed miniseries, epic film of a character in this format?
And that's it as well. Like the Marvel universe is sort of PG-13, bright, flashy, colourful films, and this has brought it to a different kind of audience where we have like tonally changed.
Don't need it to be dark for dark's sake.
No, exactly. But it
warrants it.
It works and it warrants it and it works. But it just, like you say, it shows you what you can do if you're going to do something properly. And I think it's going to be interesting getting Deadpool to see how that plays out as a sort of R-rated superhero movie.
But also, we've talked many times how Marvel let themselves down with the villains sometimes. They don't give them the time, they're a bit two-dimensional, they're there to serve a purpose as we enjoy the wisecracks and hero arc. And notable exceptions, but that's largely been the case. On TV, where you can give them time and flesh them out, and they've created two fascinating, layered, interesting, cool villains in Kingpin and Kilgrave that like are on par. Do you know what I mean? That's brilliant.
Good stuff.
Can't rave about it enough.
Awesome.
So now we move on to Best Game of 2015, and we have our wonderful, talented artist James here to announce this one at Artie Fufkin on Twitter, or you can follow his professional Twitter at JTW Illustration and find out more about him. But here he is to announce Best Game of 2015.
Hello, I'm James. You may know me from the podcast pictures because I draw them. I'm here to announce the winner of Best Game. The nominees are Star Wars Battlefront, Arkham Knight, and Mario Maker. And the winner is Arkham Knight. A truly worthy winner, I imagine, because I haven't played it. Thanks to all the guys at Weekly Geek Speak for being awesome, and have an excellent 2016. Bye!
So there we go, Arkham Knight taking it. Took it with 50% of the vote.
Oh, okay.
The rest of the vote, Battlefront got 26 and Mario Maker got 24. So a lot of love for all of them
definitely.
there. A lot closer than the last one.
And again, this is a particularly difficult one we do because we have to have played it or be able to vouch for the game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games thrown about Bloodborne and Metal Gear Solid, and there were quite a few. But someone else were like, "Why didn't you put this?" And I was like, "Because I haven't played it."
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Fallout 4,
Undertale.
Yeah.
In fact, something, and I'm going to put it on record here, so we actually can go out and find it, and you can volunteer as well if you are a gamer. Is Mark picks our Comic Conference comics. We don't read enough comics. New runs of comics to actually do that vote.
I read trades that are really behind.
If you would like to do a Comic Conference, a gamer conference-esque thing on our show, please do stick your hands up, because we'd love to have you telling us about games, because it's one area we perhaps don't touch as much as we should.
It's an area I get to in my own time and speed.
Yeah,
but I like to be kept abreast. Yeah, and there's some criticism for the tank combat system, but the sheer fact you've got your Batmobile this time, I think, makes it cool.
I love shooting out of it.
Exactly, and all the Arkham games are so immensely fun, and it's as close as you're going to get to being Batman without getting arrested. So that's great. I love Mario Maker as well. It just seems like unlimited fun as you play endless people's Mario levels. And I've never played Battlefront, but I tell you something, it's designed for me, that game, and I'm going to get to it at some point.
I will say I've not played Batman, but like you say, all the Batmans, the story arcs are brilliant, the characters are brilliant, the world building's brilliant, but it's one that I need to get. But Battlefront, I nominated it because I got it, I was super excited, and I'm playing Star Wars, but actually that's kind of does wear things.
Is it limited? Because
It's
I know that there was some
very
criticism
limited.
about the few levels, isn't
Yeah.
there?
I mean, there's enough levels and there's enough going on, but
There's a lot of
it's
DLC
just-
trouble in there.
Yeah, it's just kind of, you stick it on now and again to have a go and go, I'm playing Star Wars for a bit, but it's
Visually strong, but
it's
I think
beautiful. Visually, the sound, everything immerses you in it.
Can you not sit there for like 8 hours and be just like lose your day?
When I first got it, and now I just sort of pick it up now and again because I've got a few more games. It's a shame. I thought it would keep me going for
it's
a lot
an Unreal
longer.
Tournament, isn't it? It's that kind of game, not because you might just want to loot, like Batman, Arkham Knight. You're in a story, you're working your way through the things.
that's
Whereas
it.
this is short, snappy, 15 minutes at most,
Yeah.
kind of battles, and then you start again. It's like skirmishes, isn't it?
And everyone
basically?
online's better than you because they play
like
it to
when you
death,
pick
and they're
up-
all level.
It's like when you pick up
60
FIFA and
and-
you can play a main tournament, but you're mostly going to play a game or two and go away. Is it a bit
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. You have a couple of games. You think, that was fun. I've leveled up once. I'll play again in a week.
Fair enough.
So I wouldn't need to play Batman now.
I'm always happy when Batman wins.
Yep.
Now we move on to Best Comic Run, nominated by Mark Roberts, the blogger it came from Dartmoor, and our Comic Conference guru. He nominated the 3 comics this year. You voted, and here's Paisy to tell us. Paisy Bones, at Paisy Bones on Twitter, musician, illustrator, and generally entertaining gentleman, contributes a lot. So here he is, the lovely Paisy, telling us all about the best comic of the year.
Now here we are to announce the best comic run in the Weekly Geek Speak Awards 2016. The nominees are The Wicked and the Divine, Saga, and James Bond Vargre. And the result? Saga.
Saga.
Thanks, Paisy. Yeah,
Thank you.
Saga is it, I'll be honest, it's the only one I've read. I think you've read Wicked and the Vine, haven't you?
I haven't, no.
You haven't. Someone has and said they didn't like it.
Jen.
Jen did, didn't
Yeah.
she? But Mark certainly sings its praises. But Saga, I think, I've read this and I don't think I've loved a comic as much.
Okay.
In terms of its world and things since Preacher, and that's a big thing for me because Preacher's one. It's not quite on that level yet, but it dunked into a world. If you flick through the pages of that book, you think this is all goblins and creatures, and I'm not sure I'm into this. But you read it, and it's so unique and a lovely story, a dark, entertaining, scary, lovely, funny, it's got so much going on in it. I'm only three or four books in, and I'm completely in love with this, and I can't wait to read more. And it seems that's the way with everyone here, because 73% of the vote went to Saga. James Bond came in second with 16, and Wicked and Divine came in with 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, the irony is that I lent you those books, and I've still not read them. But I will, because if one more person recommends it to me, my recommend part of my brain will hit critical mass and explode.
Yeah.
So, I'm not too familiar with the other two. I mostly read, Batman, Justice League, Deadpool, which I try and keep as up to date as I can, which is never really qualifies me for Mark's picks. But they all sound great, and I might try and get more into the fringe reads this year. I might make it a thing, picking up stray books, and because I feel ready for something new. Do you know what I mean?
The ones Mark spoke about on Comic Conference sounded good.
Yeah.
So well done to Saga.
Yeah.
Definitely a great book, and everyone should read it. But now it's time to roll out the red carpet as we bring in the king/sirloin of the three-word reviews, stand-up comedian and brilliant contributor at Popular Outcasts. It's Pete Bushbauer.
Nice.
With the best animated TV show of the year.
Hello, Weekly Geek Speak. This is Pete, a.k.a. at Popular Outcasts, a.k.a. the king of three-word reviews. The guys asked me to announce an award winner, so I gladly took a break from my busy stand-up schedule to do just that. We'll be announcing the winner for your best animated TV show. The nominees were Rick and Morty Season 2, Bob's Burgers Season 9, and South Park Season 19. I would do a drum roll here, but that'd be really loud. My neighbors would probably be pissed. So the winner is Bob's Burgers. Now, I personally voted for Rick and Morty, but Bob's Burgers is phenomenal, so I congratulate them. Hope they keep up the great work. You guys, you can follow me online at Twitter, at Popular Outcasts. Instagram is at TPOPete. The YouTube channel is under the Popular Outcasts. Or if you're stateside, follow me in real life and come see me at a show. Thanks for having me, guys, and keep up the great work. Cheers.
I like Bob Burgers a lot. I do think Rick and Morty should have run away with that, though, personally. But what are you going to do? Fucking democracy fails sometimes.
Democracy fails. I mean, honestly, Bob's Burgers is a show that I was terrified when it started, because I started watching it. This show is so good, it's going to get cancelled. Family Guy did early series, Futurama did, and they came back, and for a few seasons they were great, and then they kind of petered out again. Bob's Burgers has just gone as an untouched little gem. I think it's not been forced in your face like Family Guy or The Simpsons. It's just there as a great alternative. It's hilarious. The characters are all brilliant. Yeah. The script is fantastic. Yeah. So I think that's a great winner there. No, South Park, it speaks for itself.
I always find it very charming. It don't make me guffaw a lot. It don't make me chuckle out loud much, but it's quirky and entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
And it's consistently good.
And the fact that it's gone 9 seasons, like you say, just casually in the background, still here, still going, still funny.
But I will say, if you don't watch Rick and Morty, just try and then come back and tell me you should have voted for it.
And then download the app that you told me to that I'm now addicted
Pocket
to.
Mortys.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, Pocket Mortys.
It's like Pokemon.
Have you got a Scruffy Morty yet?
No,
Funnily enough, I was listening to an old podcast and Paisley asked us about Ghostbusters RPG.
Yeah.
And I literally said, if you create something with the engine of Final Fantasy or Pokemon and then put something else I like over it, I'll be all over that shit. 2 days later, Rick and Morty and Pokemon.
It's destiny. It is. Just to give you the stats of this as well, which might warm your cockles a bit more there, Scott. Okay. Bob's Burgers won it with 40% of the vote. Rick and Morty was right behind with 34% of the vote. And South Park was 26%, so again, we're lucky.
I mean, South Park stayed strong over the years. I do think this last season was its weakest, but that's not the season we put up.
Have you
so
seen
I think that might have affected it, because the last one's not been too warmly received from what I've...
Have you seen the newer one now with the single story arc?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's alright, it's just, I prefer their one-off take piss out of the world ones, to be honest, because that's what keeps it strong.
But, yeah.
So that's the best of the rest. Now we move on to the genre awards, where we look at each genre of each movie, do what Hollywood refuses to do, and award some awards for the best genres. And kicking us off is at Zommers86. It's Jamie, a listener, a contributor, and a thoroughly lovely person. She's here to announce the best animated film of 2015.
I'm the winner. Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm here to announce the winner of Best Animated Film. The nominees were Big Hero 6, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, and Inside Out. And the winner is Inside Out, which is cool because Amy Poehler's in it and she is awesome. So yeah, winner.
I particularly liked her ray gun.
Yeah.
Before.
Inside Out. All awards should be Inside Out, winning there. Very, very tight between the top two. 52% went to Inside Out. Yeah. Big Hero 6 with 48. No love at all for Dragon Ball Z.
No one's watching Dragon Ball Z, you twats.
0%. The only film here with not.
Wow.
But usually, when Pixar's involved, that runs straight to it. Disney, obviously, are a big now. And we usually have a strong superhero film, and it didn't feel that way this year. But if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, go all over Resurrection F, you'll love it. But I'm not surprised by those stats.
But those two, really tight. I think the right one came out on top for me. Inside Out.
Inside Out's a better
Edges,
film.
Edges,
and it's a lot more clever as well. But Big Hero 6 is fun, and Baymax, he gets you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's the only issue is the third act of Big Hero 6 that lets it down, really. And even then, when I say lets it down, it's still a 7 out of 10 film. It's still a great film. But Inside Out just brought something imaginative and fun and different.
Pixar do what they do.
Pixar doing something they haven't done for a little while, actually, as well. Because they've been resting on their Cars and Toy Story 3, which was great and things.
Yeah.
But this was something new and lovable and different and literally going into someone's mind. That's what Pixar does. It takes a really high concept, like living toys or something, and then takes it somewhere else.
I've seen it since, and obviously I can't bring it to recommend or decommend again. So having seen it again, it still holds up, and you do pick up on it more. On surface value, I watched it at school, and at surface value, it's a great, funny kids film. But if you pick it apart and watch it really closely, there's so much there for everyone. You can pick it apart, and it's amazing. It's really clever. It's really well written, and the little things in the background that are happening, and the little nods to other Pixar films. And it's just a wonderful film.
Whilst not compromising central message and feels, which is what Pixar do really well as well.
Definitely.
It's great.
Really clever.
Worthy winner, and it should win the Oscar for Best Animation.
Definitely.
Yeah. Next up is Best Comedy of the Year in our genre awards, and here to announce that is at J Tidders, Jen, regular 3-word reviewer, and also, I believe she's having an affair with one of our hosts. Oh.
In a world filled with humour, one woman struggled to find an amusing way to present the Weekly Geek Speak Award for Best Comedy Film of 2015. So she gave up and she did it in her normal voice. Hi, I'm Jen and I'm here to present the award. And the nominees for this are Dumb and Dumber 2, Pitch Perfect 2 and Ant-Man. And the winner is Ant-Man! Proving that a joke just isn't as funny the second time around. So, well done Ant-Man, and well done Weekly Geek Speak for another fantastic year. We're all looking forward to hearing you again in 2016.
Nice!
Yeah, out of all the ones, I felt we struggled with this the most, as we've not really watched anything. But I enjoyed Pitch Perfect 2. It's not quite as good as Pitch Perfect 1.
It's not, no.
But I liked it. I watched Dumb and Dumber 2. I imagine it's fine.
It's
I think it's quite good, actually.
Really?
It's as much what Anchorman 2 is to Anchorman as in it's not there with it, but it's a fun return. And I think people judge Dumb and Dumber 2 a little harshly. Actually, it has got a lot of the wordplay and the stupidness from it. It is a Farrelly Brothers film of old. but they were always ropey, let's be honest.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
always ropey.
Yeah.
So what more do you want? I mean, I haven't seen Pitch Perfect, and just looking through some of the other comedies last year, there wasn't a great deal. Although we saw
Trainwreck since, and I enjoyed it, actually. There's a weird, like, she's the latest big star,
Right,
and then that
okay.
weird backlash that comes, like, actually, she's shit.
Right.
But I just know I watch quite an entertaining, passable comedy film, so I think she's alright.
James
Who is
said,
this?
Amy Schumer, sorry.
Amy Schumer.
James said he'd have
Trainwreck.
put Trainwreck up. If
Yeah.
he said if you'd have seen it,
We'd not
that was
watched
his-
it
No.
then, but what I always do is end up watching stuff after we've picked our award.
Inevitable, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Ant-Man, I mean, to be honest, we didn't have a great thing to pick from, and then we actually went, well, Ant-Man actually was a really funny film.
Yeah, it was.
It was a great superhero film that's slightly different from Marvel's normal fare, and it was funny, and some great comedy performances in it, and I think it deserved this.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
And I know it's a superhero heist film, but I think it's just as much a comedy because
Definitely.
it's selling itself on
Yeah, and
laughs.
that's the great thing as well that Marvel does so well is, right, we've got a man who turns into an ant here. We either do this po-faced and seriously and everyone will just, like, scoff at it, or we make it what it is. This is ridiculous, you know? It's a man who turns into an ant and controls ants. And that's addressed throughout the film as being a ridiculous thing, but they go with it, and it works because of that, because they know, it's knowing, and it just respects the comic, respects the fans, and says, look, yeah, it's about
And it
Ant-Man.
just charms you, doesn't
yeah.
it? It just charms you in, and then you're in, aren't you?
Whereas they tried to shoehorn the humour in, we've said before, in Thor 2, it's like, cut to wacky one-liner. Like,
But
no.
it felt forced.
Yeah,
and also,
it did.
it jars with the fact his mum's dying.
Yeah, it did.
You know,
Work.
like-
So the humour kind of...
You can't go from, oh, I hope you kill him because he killed your mum, to wacky pants time.
Well, what you've got to give Marvel the credit, the fact that when a problem emerges over a couple of films, they do generally correct that.
Yes, I do think they listen to criticism.
And I think we got to that point with Thor 2, that kind of humour that was working in Iron Man through to, I don't know, maybe the Avengers even, that kind of witty one-liner side, punch, you know, stupid thing was not working by that point.
Just don't betray the character or the moment. That's all I ever ask, and Thor 2 betrayed that a bit.
So here we have Ant-Man wins it with 86% of the best comedy vote, 9% went Pitch Perfect, and 5 went to number 2. It ran away with it. But now we're heading to the best horror movie, which will be announced by another shady character, Lucy, at Jareth Jones on Twitter.
Hi everyone, it's Lucy, Scott's replacement from Weekly Geek Speak. You might know me also on Twitter as @JarethJones, so please follow me, please. I'm here to give the results of the Best Horror Movie Award. Is that right? Yeah. The nominations were for The Final Girls, which I have watched, The Voices, which I've also watched, and Good Night Mommy, another one that I've also watched. And the results, the winner is... it was a tie between The Voices and Good Night Mommy. Well done to two very good films, two very different films. The Voices I really enjoyed. It was hilarious. It's got Ryan Reynolds in it, and a talking cat and a talking dog, and lots of blood. And Good Night Mommy freaked me out, but it was really, really good, and I can't wait to see that when it is released in March. So well done to two very worthy winners, and good night, Mummy.
The interesting thing here is you two were going to bring two of these films to recommend earlier in the show, but we couldn't because of rules.
Yeah.
So now is your chance to talk about the films that you watched.
After you.
I watched The Voices with Ryan Reynolds. It's a very odd film. I feel like it could have... It's very darkly comic. I feel like it could have been a bit funnier in places, but what really brings it round is how just dark it really... Like, on the surface, it's quite light, and you see things through his way, and he doesn't realise. But when you get the little flashes of what other people are seeing, it's dark, and it's terrifying, and it's grim, and he's a deeply psychotic man. And that really saves the film, and it's just quirky, weird, watchable, and cool. Jaunt. I don't think it's going to stick with me over a period of time or anything.
It's very different. I like
it's
that.
Different.
I love the way it was done. Ryan Reynolds carries it. He does carry
it. Of course, he has
to. I really like some of the things that they do. I agree with you, though. You won't stick with me over the thing, but I'm a big horror fan, so I watch a lot of stuff. But as something that's nice to see a big Hollywood name to go and do that, and also the talking to yourself. But you always do pull a little bit of Deadpool from that. The kind of how,
of course,
and how that schizophrenic level.
Of course, but it reminds me a bit of when you listen to like quite an upbeat pop song, but the lyrics are really dark and no one picks up on it. Reminds me a bit like that. Well, on the surface, a lot of it's really
flowery.
It's like Boy with the Arab Strap. It's really happy.
But it's really...
Oh, God.
Yeah, but it's really fucking dark. And it'll get there. But it's strong. It's the only one I've watched of this category. But I'm pleased it's won. What do we do when it?
They both get the accolades.
Oh God! Do we have to?
But I guess because technically, Goodnight Mummy, we watched it when it was released, but it's now getting a full release, which I'm so pleased for because it deserves to get a full release. It's coming out in March, so. Yeah, it's good to see that, and that you'll be able to see. You saw Final Girls.
I saw Final Girls. Yeah, it was an 8 pushing in. I thought it was fantastic. It did something different. It took the horror films and the slashers that we say they keep churning out these sort of relying on a formula and like let's just make Paranormal Activity 5 and all this, and it just did something completely different. Again, like The Voices, it did something completely different. It sort of took the It almost felt to me like watching Scream again for the first time. It took that genre and it went, let's try looking at it from this angle, and it's just really nice.
But it also really loves the genre it's taking the mick out of.
Yeah,
and I love
it embraces it completely. And it wasn't overly violent, and it wasn't, but it was just perfect. It worked really, really well. Passed the Bechdel test within about 2 minutes as well for most of the Bechdel test.
What's that then?
Where it's two ladies on screen at the same time having a conversation.
Oh.
It's a thing, and quite a lot of films don't pass that ever. A lot of the big blockbusters. So yeah, that was interesting to see.
They only have one woman in the whole film.
That's
seems harsh to judge you.
I have heard of this test. I do think the point of it is, I do get it, and sometimes certain films need addressing in it. But like Andrew's pointing out, there's mitigating circumstances sometimes. But I do like things that pass it as well. But I don't notice because you shouldn't notice.
You shouldn't exactly.
You shouldn't have to notice.
But it's an interesting horror film. What I mean is, it's an interesting horror film with a 90% female cast.
It's an interesting thought. I've never heard of it. But
no, it's,
it's a thing. I remember.
But in the genre of horror, which often female characters are reduced to screaming, running around, and not much else.
Yeah, it's good. It's great.
And especially in the 80s, it's just like they were there for screaming, killing, and getting their breasts out. And this movie kind of addresses that.
It does, and it's really clever.
Oh, you've really sold me on that. Really that sounds like the sort of thing I like.
Really
that's why I tried lending it to you, but you didn't take it.
Oh, is that what you tried giving me?
Yeah.
Where is it?
I've got it.
Steve has. Because he takes my lens.
Okay.
Next up is the best sci-fi and fantasy film of 2015, and here is, I think it's Luke.
Hello there. You seem to have me at something of a disadvantage. Of course, Weekly Geek speak, yes. Andrew has tasked me with announcing the winner of an award. This award was for the best science fiction or fantasy film. The nominations were Mad Max Fury Road, Ex Machina, Jurassic World, and Chappie. They're all a little too racy for me. However, I am delighted to tell you all that the winner was in fact Mad Max Fury Road. I don't think I'll be watching it anytime soon, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Thank you for listening. I hope you have an agreeable evening.
He's really let shopping at Marks and Spencer's go to his head.
I know. There's cashmere jumpers he's been wearing. Downhill from there.
He's usually rough as old. Shit. I mean, I think it's the year of Mad Max. They just got the tone and the world so perfectly, and then just produced a 2-hour car chase that's so insanely fun and watchable, you can't help but love it.
Oh yeah, I had the issue of is this going to play well on the television?
Right.
You know, and I watched it last night, and it plays well on the television.
Yeah.
It's a crazy.
It's so
insane,
kinetic. I don't know how it wouldn't like.
Energetic. It keeps you going. It has interesting characters that you're just They splash across your life, and you don't get the back, but you create that. You see things that you've not seen on the screen ever before. You see levels of chaos you're not used to. You feel like that you need to watch it 4 times to actually see everything that's going on.
Yeah, you can't pause for breath to think about it. It's just. It hits the ground running.
And again, we were talking a moment ago about feminism in the films, and this film, again, is addressing it without making it a thing.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. It's completely... It is a patriarchal society. The world's gone crazy, and we've gone back to the Stone Age with cars. And this is basically... Furiosa is saying, no, I'm not having this. We are getting out of here. We're going to get away. Max just happens to be caught up in this sea of chaos, this gender battle in a way, but it's never addressed as that. It's never laying it down going, I'm pushing this agenda that this is the case. It's just going, this is the world they're in. It's run by men in a horrible, horrible way.
Well, we want them to escape because it's not right.
It's so backwards and crazy and terrifying. And when when I watched that again, that's the world of the what's it called, the Citadel. Women
don't get addicted to water.
But the characters are amazing, you know. I mean, to finish my first point, there's women being bred to be for milk. There's people being kept as on the ground, being kept as slaves for water. There's the plants are only growing at the top, which only the elite can get. Children are being born purely as warriors. You know, it's crazy.
Like I say, the plot is literally drive over there and drive back. But the world and the story and the characters and the tone are all as 3D and well thought out as you're going to get. It's Dread Syndrome.
It's Dread Syndrome. It's also Frank Miller syndrome. It's very Frank Miller feeling that 300 is about this to this. But if you look around it, there's the actual mythology around it. This is the same. And what it delivers is you can read into that. You can look in, and I was looking a lot more for that stuff on the second viewing. But if you just want to watch a bombastic, crazy, insane film that you will never say anything like again, apart from maybe when a sequel comes out, but this is it. And it's phenomenal, and for effects, for editing, for sound, it's doing everything right.
Yeah, and the stunts and the level of practical stunts and things that they did. I mean, they said during filming, didn't they, that a lot of the time nobody could see anything. It was just they'd shout action, and there would just be sand,
Chaos.
and they'd go, "What are we actually doing? We can't see." And
it's just a great achievement.
Just incredible.
Because we really shouldn't be infusing about a car chase.
Yeah.
Which is essentially what the film is.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine us doing this about Fast and Furious? But the difference is, there's that much love and time and thought, and it's practical.
Yeah.
And it took a while, and it's done with love. It's a labour of love. And it's just so charming and visceral and kinetic and energetic and fun. And that's why it's won the year, because it's been a May year. Maybe it struggled during other years, but it's just stood out as a solid effort.
Yeah.
Which is why it's top of everyone's lists. Do you know what I mean?
Game came out with 49% of the vote. Ex Machina came in with 27 in second place. Pleased with that, because that was something a bit different as well. Jurassic World came in with 18 and Chappie with 7, which is probably how I'd grade them as well, personally.
I mean, Jurassic World, nostalgic, fun.
Yeah.
But it's a bit it's a good, bad film.
It's a terror. I watched that again recently. It's still, I feel exactly the same. It's joyously awful.
Yeah. But
it's so bad.
But it's weirdly fun.
But it's amazingly fun.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's how, when you get to that point with a franchise, if you're going to do it again, just throwing everything at the wall and making it silly, and it works. It still works for it. It's terrible, but it's brilliant. And I stand by that.
And Chappie's Short Circuit meets RoboCop, and with D'Antwoord in it. But I think that was a good film. I liked it.
It let itself down a little bit in certain places, but overall it's a great film.
It did, but I don't think it's terrible.
Still need to
see it. I don't think it's bad. And I really need to watch it, because, again, my recommend bank is growing ever more with this fucking film. I need to release the valve and watch it.
You do.
Best Superhero / Comic Book Movie of the Year, and the last of the genre awards is going to be announced by the man of many names. That's Sparky Wright, Optimus Prime. He is here to announce the best comic book or
We've missed
movie of the
you.
year.
Bring the sparkle.
Thanks, lads. Sparky right here, and I've been given the honour of announcing the winner of the Best Comic Book Movie of 2015. And the nominees are The Avengers, Age of Ultron, Justice League, Throne of Atlantis, and Ant-Man. And the winner is... just having a bit of a problem with the envelope. I don't know why you stuck this down with, lads. To be honest, I don't think I want to think about it too much. Still going. 2 seconds. And the winner is... Ant-Man. Enough with the drums.
Thank you, Sparky.
That was ace.
Ant-Man.
Worthy winner.
Yeah.
It weren't a question for me. Age of Ultron, you know, it's fit to burst and there's loads to like, but it's a bit of a mess, and I think it lets itself down from being... It just be a bit more organised, just try and put a bit less in. It would have been a lot better experience, I think. But Ant-Man, just solid Marvel doing what they do best. Taking something goofy, do it in a palatable way, through a genre, through charm and comedy, and let people fall in love with it. And Throne of Atlantis was just chucked in, because it's good. It's one of the best Aquaman stories I've seen, but mostly we didn't want Fantastic Four in there.
No, Ant-Man, 67% of the vote, Avengers 31%, and Justice League 2%. That's probably because not as many people have seen it.
No.
But yeah, a worthy winner, I agree. Avengers is fun, but you just feel a little like it was a wasted opportunity in some ways.
It did what it did, but
it's good.
Too much.
It's like still a 7 for me, but it just lacks in areas, doesn't it?
But it should have been a joyous... like the Avengers. Do you remember that first Avengers film? It was joyous.
It should have been a stepping stone. It was,
yeah, it was a moment, and it was like a watershed moment in many ways. So then, and I still watch it now and fucking adore it. And this just felt a bit like, well, that happened, and I shouldn't feel that way when you put all those people in a room.
it's not one I want to go back to. I've seen it. I've ticked it off. I'll see the new ones, but
it's just,
nah.
You shouldn't feel that way.
There's other films out there, but Ant-Man definitely will.
And the danger is, we discovered 2 years ago, and at the Sheffield Comic Con when we did the list, we listed all the movies.
Yeah.
You can't afford to slip in this list of Marvel movies because you will be at the bottom. You will only be above Thor 2, and I don't know where it is because I haven't looked and done my little analysis again. We'll have to come back to it at some point, but I can imagine it's maybe second, third from bottom, and that's not because it's a bad film, it's because everything's so good, and if you slip up in these films, that's how good they are. And Ant-Man, on the other hand, it's won it, and that might be up quite near the top now. It might be hanging around with Guardians.
I very much expect so.
Cracking film.
So yeah, now we move on to the best actor in a movie of 2015, and it is Andrew Bartlett or Muthridge Caniv. He's here to announce this one.
And now, from the podcast Room 173 with Mathrichkaniv, here is Andrew Bartlett to present the award for Best Actor Performance in a Motion Picture. One of our 3 nominees tonight was once quoted as saying, in regards to acting, that the further you get away from yourself, the more challenging it is. To not be in your comfort zone is great fun. To look at these 3 nominees and their long list of credentials, you could peg any one of them for having said those words about acting. One has been a newspaper editor-in-chief, an explosive expert, and an airbender. One has been a necromancer, a famous scientist, and a detective. One has been a politician, a field reporter, and married to Phoebe Buffay. These actors have been chosen for this category because of their ability to take on a new character or a new aspect to portray a character differently than what we've seen them portray in movies past. And so, without any further stalling, your nominees for this year's Best Actor Performance Award are J.K. Simmons as Terrence Fletcher in Whiplash.
By a bunch of fucking limp dick, sour note, flatter than their girlfriend's flexible tempo dipshits. Got it? One more thing. Eugene, give me that. If I ever find one of these lying around again, I swear to fucking God, I will stop being so polite. Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Alan Turing in The Imitation Game.
Of course, machines can't think as people do. A machine is different from a person, since they think differently. The interesting question is, just because something thinks differently from you, does that mean it's not thinking?
Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, Ant-Man in Ant-Man.
It's okay. You can't see me.
I can see you.
He can see me.
Hi. I'm Scott.
Did he just say, hi, I'm Scott?
What are you doing here? First off, I'm a big fan. Appreciate it. So who the hell are you? I'm Ant-Man. Ant-Man? What, you haven't heard of me? No, you wouldn't have heard of me.
And the winner for Best Actor Performance in a Motion Picture is Benedict Cumberbatch, The Imitation Game.
I have not seen this yet.
Neither have I.
It's about Alan Turing, who kind of the grandfather of the computer and all. It's a fine drama that's entirely held together by the acting of Benedict Cumberbatch. So it's definitely worth a watch, and he's a very worthy winner, I have to say. J.K. Simmons, I really want to watch Whiplash.
Yeah, I mean, hearing that clip again made me want to watch it again. Angry Jazz Dad, I think.
Angry Jazz.
This would be my 3-word review.
But J.K. Simmons is always good. It's impossible for him not to.
Yeah, he is ace.
I mean, not much in this one, really. 38% for Cumberbatch, 34% for J.K. Simmons, and 28% for Paul Rudd.
Wow.
So 10% between it.
Yeah.
Good performance. And, it's good to see Paul Rudd getting some votes there, because I think he did have a fun, good time with
I think
he
were brilliant. He were pitch perfectly cast, and he delivered. But you can rely on Paul Rudd to be charming and comedic. But strong round. I think he did deserve a due. Because just because you don't have to act your ass off in an Oscar film, don't mean you haven't done your job satisfactorily. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.'s first Iron Man, I think, is as good an acting performance of 2008 as Caprio in Revolutionary Road or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Just because he didn't have to stretch as much.
So now we move on to the Best Actress Performance, and to announce that is the Eventpera. Freya, run, roller, run.
It's the Eventpera here. I've been let out of the green room for just a really short time to let you know who's won Weekly Geek Speak's 2015 award for Best Actress. The nominees were Phyllis Smith as Sadness in Inside Out, Charlize Theron as Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road, and Alicia Vikander as Ava in Ex Machina. And the winner is Charlize Theron. Congratulations, Charlize. You're a winner.
Charlize Theron.
Definitely.
Furiosa.
She's created like an icon in that Mad Max film, and it was done seamlessly, and she's badass. I really liked her.
Yeah, and you really feel her character through it as well when she discovers that there is no green. You know what I mean?
It's as much her film as Max's.
More, I would say. You could call this.
Yeah.
Mad Furiosa.
Mad Max
Fury
is
Road.
incidental. He just happens to have rocked up. And
He's us.
Yeah.
He is us, wandering into this situation.
Going,
being dragged in, kicking and screaming at the start, travels through, and we see this awesome character who is fed up with the world she's living in, and is saying, no, not anymore. And she does it so well. I mean, she's a fantastic actress who you sometimes feel doesn't have the role. Sometimes she was great in Monster, but sometimes I want to see more of her, because when she does inhabit a role, she really does inhabit a role. And her as Furiosa, as that character, is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think that was the right one there.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
Well deserved.
47% of the vote. Alicia Vikander came in second. A great performance.
Yeah,
as
again,
Ava.
Ex Machina's amazing.
33%, yeah. And Phyllis Smith, 20%. She got lots of love as well.
Yeah.
Sadness, another great role. So, yeah, brilliant. I'm really chuffed with that one. But 3 great performances in there.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Best Villain of the Year, and we go to the silky tones of Adam Roach from the Attaboy Clarence and Hollywood Histories podcast.
I always look forward to this. Like chocolate being poured into your ear.
Hello to Weekly Geek Speak and to all you Weekly Geek Speakers. This is Adam from The Secret History of Hollywood and Attaboy Clarence, here today to announce the winner of Best Villain of 2015. So, without further ado, the nominees are... the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World.
I am your Redeemer. It is by my hand you will rise from the ashes of this world.
Immortan Joe, played by Hugh Keys-Byrne from Mad Max Fury Road.
The most versatile substance on the planet. And they used it to make a frisbee.
And Ultron, played by James Spader in Avengers Age of Ultron. The envelope, if you please. Let me just open this thing that doesn't really exist. And the winner is... Immortan Joe, played by Hugh Keys-Byrne from Mad Max Fury Road, of course. Congratulations to gasoline-conserving, women-imprisoning, flamethrower, guitar-playing tyrants everywhere. And thank you for having me. Back to you.
I mean, it's cool.
Nice.
He looks interesting. He's got a cool voice. He's
disgusting.
He's disgusting. He's vile.
Mm.
You hate him and you're repulsed by him, but you're intrigued by him, and he's representative of everything that's wrong with that setup.
But so powerful as well.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be, because he looks so pathetic as well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he's on practically on life support constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
But he even makes life support look badass.
And
He surrounds himself, with that team of just awesome.
And he's clearly just so decadent and just so like spoiled, and it's a bit like if Bane never got over losing to Batman, just ate for 50 years.
He is King Henry VIII was born in a psychedelic land.
Yeah, definitely.
Vehicles. He is terrifying, brilliant, scary, the perfect villain in a way. In that film, kind of showing everything, as you said, that was wrong with the world.
And I think it says a lot as well that Charlize Theron's won, Mad Max has won, and he's won. It's such a strong film from last year. We were saying in a year where quite a lot of the films felt a bit, Mad Max definitely.
I mean, it were there to be grabbed this year, and Mad Max did it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jurassic World got all the numbers, and obviously Star Wars stole the end of the year, but Mad Max, it was its year for me. It just was like you can. And honourable mention, because I do think James Spader, I could listen to read a phone book, and his Ultron quirky and good,
and didn't quite get the time he deserved. Well.
But none of that with him.
No, that's.
Indominus Rex was a good villain for Jurassic World for the film it was, but I'm not surprised.
That end sequence of Jurassic World.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
so funny.
If we had a best hero. Spoilers. Yeah. I know I'd go for.
I think the thing with Ultron as well is just to chip in. Like we've said countless times before, they laid all their cards on the table. They went, here's an Empire magazine with Ultron on. Oh, so Ultron's in it then. Great.
It's called Age of Ultron, Steve.
Yeah.
No, but
the first image they showed was Ultron.
Do you mean Vision?
Vision.
Yeah.
No. I'm mixing it all up. I can't even. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to shut
You
up.
dropped the
then.
cards on the table because
I'm
in
gonna-
the
I'm gonna
Superman
shut
film,
up now.
Batman's in it.
It is what? Fuck. One moment every podcast. This one's it, right?
I know you meant Vision, and,
I
and
did.
you're very right. He could have been the coolest surprise ever, but we all knew it.
But now we've had a lot of best, but now to move on to our penultimate award.
Ooh.
It's the worst movie of the year, and here is the lovely JC Pollard on Twitter. It's Jo. She's here to announce the worst.
Oh.
Weekly Geek Speak have asked me to present the award for Worst Film 2015. I considered boycotting the ceremony, but then remembered I wasn't black. So the nominations are Kingsman, Human Centipede, and Terminator Genesis. How Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 didn't make the list remains a mystery to me. Anyway, Kingsman is about an English toff gentleman turning chavs into Secret Service agents. Human Centipede is about men turning humans into centipedes. And Terminator Genesis is about men turning a great franchise into a steaming pile of excrement. The winner is Terminator Genesis. And with a bit of luck, it won't be back anytime soon.
I forgot about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, frankly. But also, this offended me more.
I didn't
frankly.
forget about it because you watched it without me. I'm still bitter.
Paul Blart
It's 2016 and I've still not forgotten.
No one switches Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 on and expects anything other than but Terminator was once a great franchise.
It was.
And to get it voted over Human Centipede 3, which is about people eating shit,
it was-
and it was awful.
Yeah.
I actually agree with this. I know I brought Human Centipede 3 to the table, but Terminator Genesis, we did our review of it and we were like, oh, we were trying, weren't we?
Well, they were trying. They tried to like remix and do a quick greatest hits of the Terminator franchise, but it was all soulless and it was like crap fan fiction. And at the end, you're just left going. Nah.
I'm glad I've not seen it.
It's not good.
I know they're not doing the sequel now. They've announced that now. They're not doing it. They've cancelled everything because it went down like a shit balloon.
But if they'd have rebooted it and then like committed, it'd have been fine. And if they wanted to do a sequel, I know Salvation's crap, but it'd have been fine,
The problem is, though, it was ruined from the off because it revealed Terminator was in it with the title, didn't it?
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah. It did.
So moving on.
What were the numbers?
50% of the vote went to Terminator Genesis, 41 went to Human Centipede, and only 9% went to Kingsman. Because I think actually a lot of people did like it.
A lot of people do like Kingsman. I wouldn't have put it in this, but
Steve did.
I did.
It was your choice.
So now we come to the big one, the final one, and who better to announce this than the Podpal superfan, Robbie Polanco. Here is Robbie_Polanco announcing the best film of the year.
Hello, Weekly Geek Speak. Thank you so much for this opportunity to present to you this very prestigious award, Best Movie of 2015. So, here we go. Nominated by Scott is Ant-Man. I saw that movie. It was very, very good. That's a good choice, Scott. Andrew, Mad Max Fury Road. I'm so sorry, but I haven't seen that movie, but I have seen Good Burger. And nominated by Steve is Whiplash. Another one I haven't seen, but it's on my to-do list. And the winner is none other than Whiplash, nominated by Steve. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. My bad. The winner is, the real winner, Mad Max Fury Road, nominated by Andrew. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
I mean, it's been an hour-long gush, but 6 years. It's film. It's solid, and I can't argue. I was only annoyed that you got to pick it.
And I'm going to share this one because I did be naughty. We should have flipped a coin for this, but I think saying, I think, I don't know about yourself, Steve, but both me and you would have put that first
Yeah,
out of our best films of the year.
I mean, Inside Out, I would have had a little, like, oh yeah, but Mad Max, it weren't even a question. It was like, who's going to say Mad Max?
And I think a good three that went in there. I mean, you got the height of the Oscar bait.
Yeah,
Whiplash.
I mean, I loved Whiplash.
Ant-Man, it was a refreshing superhero
Oh,
film.
yeah.
But Mad Max, it was Mad Max's year. Like, we can't
really
say that's enough.
It just, I mean, I'm not that into Mad Max. I'm not a Mad Max
You
fan.
hated the first one.
I don't even like the first one. And it just won me. It was just that good and raw and cool and interesting and fun and well done. And I can't deny anything. It's one of the best films I've seen this year easily, and deserves everything that's chucked at it.
And the game's incredible as well.
It's like
it opens up that world.
2-hour Slipknot road trip music.
Yeah, pretty much.
So thank you to everyone who announced that. Let's do the prize now. We asked you to retweet and share the survey, and thank you to everyone who did. We had more responses than we've had in any of the previous years, and that is fantastic. So thank you for retweeting and sharing. We're now going to roll the magic dice.
Am I in it?
Let's have a look. You're not. You weren't allowed.
Why?
What?
Put me in it.
Patreon podcast. Well done.
Well done.
Thank you for retweeting. Thank you for sharing. Let us know. Drop us an email with your shirt size, and we will get the Belts, Buckles and Tees prize sent out to you. Thank you very much for sharing. We'll be having another Belts, Buckles and Tees competition soon. Do check out beltsbucklesandtees.com for all your T-shirts, belts and buckles needs. Thank you for voting.
Thank you.
Thank you for sticking with us. And now it's time for the outro.
Way.
Here we go. It's the end of the show. Thank you for sticking with us through that mammoth awards announcement. Thank you for voting and everything. But now it's time for what time? I'm just thinking of a thing now. What time is it, Steve?
It's time for this week. The Geeks have spoken.
That's the bird
Scott.
dying. The bird that usually sings that tune died.
Does it need a cigarette as much as you do?
Not as much as I do.
Thank you kindly for all your interactions, retweets, three-word reviews, and whatnot, and joining in on the awards. That was awesome. More again next year.
Much appreciated. Yeah. You're all amazing.
You're wonderful people. We'll start as always with three-word reviews. We've got Jen at JTidders. Her 9th film so far this year. Watched Vegucated. It's a compelling, convincing documentary. I don't know much about it, but it just says 3 people, 6 weeks, 1 challenge, and it's won lots of awards.
Is it like when what's his face ate McDonald's for so many years?
I think it might. Yeah, they give 6 weeks to sort of. This is what vegetarian food is like.
Yeah. Well, sounds like a turnip for the books.
I rate this film radish.
Can't wait for that to be Sweden.
Lettuce go. Oh no, that didn't. M at MFS Hill. The Intern. De Niro's career dead. 3 out of 10.
Oh dear.
Yeah. You have a die a legend, or you live long enough to. Little fuckers. To make little fuckers. And
it's not as bad as being in Jack and Jill, though, is it? Mr. Al Pacino.
Have you seen Dirty Grandpa?
Oh God!
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
We thought Bad Grandpa was bad, but now we've got Dirty Grandpa.
Oh God!
I would rather see Dirty Grandpa than Bad Grandpa.
Yeah,
having not seen
Bad Grandpa.
any of the Grandpa films that are coming.
The pantheon of Grandpa.
I would much rather watch Dirty Grandpa. Just to say I did.
Fair enough. Lord X at Steel Taylord. Ride Along. Turned it off. 1 out of 10.
The sequel's there.
It is, yeah. There's a second one.
Because I've never fucking heard of it.
I didn't know there was a first one, let alone a sequel.
I don't know where I've been or what I've been doing, but I was like, Ride Along 2. What
the shit?
I want to Ride Along. Can anyone tell me?
I don't know. Ice Cube and
I've never seen Kevin Hart in anything. I don't think I must have, but I can't remember. But I know everything I've seen, like his on comedy shows. He's quite amusing. So.
Yeah, he's a funny man.
I'd never go out my way to watch comedy though. That's my problem.
And I like Ice Cube. He's done some great stuff. So
I like Ice Cubes in my drink as well. It's a very valid option.
How does Kevin Hart get on? Just bantering with a piece of frozen water, though.
I don't know.
It's that good.
It's that good.
It's just that good. He can riff off anything. It's like Robin Williams.
Is the film like Speed? He's got to like ride along with this ice cube before it melts.
Before it melts, yeah. He's got to get out all his dialogue.
We are so funny.
Steel Taylor couldn't tell us; he didn't see the end.
Can you imagine condensation done in like the poster style of Speed?
Yeah,
it's just an ice melting. He's driving it.
Right along.
I'd watch that.
Kevin
film.
Hart looking stressed.
That'd be a great YouTube skit to do.
Muthridge Caniv at M3JCMV says, puts down the book he was reading. Oh, all right, let's warm up the old boob tube then. And chucked out a 3-word review. He saw Guidance, misguided, unlikable characters. 3 out of 10.
Oh dear.
Man.
Not heard of that one either.
Not sure, no. No. Latest thoughts on the Suicide Squad trailer. Muthridge said, I'm actually more intrigued to see it now. And Dave at Wilbro Jr. 36 said, I'm more intrigued than before. I like the way you heard the Joker more than you saw him.
Precisely, like, and he's got a very identifiable laugh, which is always important. You'll never get me, Batman. But like those like little like Japanese schoolgirl laugh, like.
Muthridge also watched Zoolander, Black Lung Survivor, 8 out of 10. I love Zoolander. Great
And the
film.
second one's coming very soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel, but I'll see it.
I've watched it, but it just none of it has stuck to any of my memory.
No.
And he's got this weird like cult comedy status that Anchorman had, but I had it for Anchorman, and I just don't quite get the Zoolander one.
Nah.
But
it's
maybe
okay. I think I'm a
it.
little bit between you because I don't see it as a classic, but I see it as pretty fun.
Yeah,
that's where I sit.
But I don't not like it. I just don't. It just didn't stick with me in any way at all.
No. I just love it. It's one of my default. Oh well, go on. I'll stick that on.
Well, maybe I need to get another chance.
Yeah.
So.
And then lastly, Palmer at Dan C. Palmer tweeted, which do you pick, theatrical version or extended version? And the votes were in.
For which?
Just in general. So what would you pick? An extended
But
or
if it came up on your menu, like on a DVD.
Yeah, there. So you've got 2 DVDs. There's the theatrical.
Let's, for example, I got
extended.
Poltergeist. It came through and it came up with theatrical version, extended version. I've got no stock in the film. I've never seen it before. Which one would you
It
pick?
would always be the theatrical version because that's the real one.
Okay.
I go extended.
Yeah,
whereas
extended came in on the votes with 75%.
That's the thing.
of
If
the
it's a
votes.
film I really like and I want extra footage, I want the option and I'd buy the extended version. But I'd watch it as almost a separate film.
I think it depends on how much I care about the film. I didn't care
Yeah.
about Poltergeist, so I clicked the extended version just
Right.
because I don't want to watch it all again.
Like,
I
for
had the
instance,
feeling I wouldn't want to.
Daredevil, the director's cut, is a better film than the theatrical release of Daredevil, but you have to preface that of saying it's a director's cut because it's a different film. Because the theatrical release of Daredevil is a bit shit.
But often, it's very rare that that's the case, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know whether J.J. Abrams has announced, because a lot of people are speculating. I think he's announced that there's not going to be an extra cut of Star Wars on DVD. That's it is what it was in the cinema, and that's going to be
Well,
it.
predominantly the
That's
cut
quite-
is the film.
Yeah.
The extended cut is, okay, we've got another, you like this is another
Here's
stab
an
at a
extra scene
version.
or-
yeah. Or director's cut's usually the director got marginalised after all this time. They're giving him the chance to go, this is how I'd have done it without any whatever. So they're always fascinating, but the cut's the cut, isn't it? Like everything else you get is bonus.
Unless you're Blade Runner.
Oh, the Wednesday cut, the Thursday evening with pizza cut, the Friday you've got the mumps cut,
The Harrison Fordless cut.
So thanks, Dan, for that. And thanks for all your tweets.
Thank you very much. We'll be
Thanks,
back
guys.
next week with more. Please do subscribe to us on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher and Podcast Land. You can find us on Twitter at Weekly Geek Speak. You can find us on Facebook. Please give us a like. We've hit 300 likes, so thank you very much for that. And we'll be back next week with more. So thank you very much for listening. We will be going for a nice shower.
Ooh. Collectively.